Welcome to episode 78 of Drew's Sports Crew here on the Sunday night. You might be like, Drew, you were just on the screen here on YouTube. Yep, you bet I was, and I am back here now I'm on solo duty here. We just recorded at 7 o'clock here. Drew's College Athlete Spotlight Season 2, Episode 1 featuring Sabrina Moore. That will come out Wednesday for the listening audience here. Otherwise, if you want to be ahead of the game, go check it out on YouTube. It was a great episode. And again, I want to thank Sabrina for coming on. And we also had Bernie Vandenhoevel. He was backstage. He was on Melon, what we're using here. And it was a lot of fun. It was a great episode. So again, go check that out. But today, here for episode 78, we got to talk about high school football, EWC, conference games. They kicked off. We got to talk about how those went. Also, we sadly have to do some Milwaukee Brewers updates. It has been something lately. And then we'll be doing a little Green Bay Packer preview here for week 1. We'll be talking a little bit about that here in this episode. But first, announcements. As always, at Drew Sports Crew is where you'll find the Instagram and Twitter. And then at Drew Sports Crew, if you want to buy some hats, as you see down below. Otherwise, live stream days. I did mention this on the last stream. So tomorrow night, so Monday night, Labor Day, around 7 o'clock Central, we will be live. It'll be myself. Zach Roush will be on with me. We'll bring some guests on. We'll bring some listeners on. We'll have a lot of fun. I think an hour and a half. We'll be talking some fantasy football. Just that. Zach will be doing a $20 listener league draft. I'll be doing a best ball draft. So we'll be just throwing things at each other, ideas, thoughts, bring some listeners, like I said, in just to have some fun. If you're interested ever coming on too, contact me. We have 15-minute slots open throughout. We'll have some guests on. So keep that in mind. I already talked about the hats, so I can cross that one off here. The announcements. Fantasia, right? You got to join me for fantasy football. We already have a league filled. If you can't get into a league, why not some DFS on Fantasia? It's a lot of fun. You can sign up right away, and it's very easy to do. I mean, we've done episodes talking about this. I've talked with the founder of Fantasia Labs, which is Fantasia Sports there. And I've also talked with the marketing team there and on episodes. Look, it's a lot of fun. Just go check those episodes out. And the app is just a great app. The overlay, just the layout of the app, we've heard great things about it, even from myself, of course. Thrive Fantasy is the last thing, right? If you want to kick off your journey to $1 million, check out Thrive for all your house prop and contest needs. There, they do a lot of over-under stuff. So that's where you can go for that. Use code J2M to get started today. And then let's go here. So announcements, just over 3 minutes. I got through all of them. All of them are done. So let's go through it here. We have the Eastern Wisconsin Conference. We got to talk about some football. Week 1 of conference games, like I said, they have come and gone already, right? Season's already flying by. And for those seniors, it was their first conference game. I know that's a mouthful, but it's true. That's what it was. And let's go through the scores here. First game, we're going to be talking about Valders and New Holstein. I actually had this as the game of the week. I was like, hold on. The Valders Vikings impressed or shocked some people with their 1-1 start to the season. And I was like, okay, well, let's see how this Valders team performs against Team New Holstein, where many people have them similarly ranked in the conference, kind of, not really. And so I was like, game of the week for sure is kind of where I put that one. New Holstein took care of business here against Valders. 33-9 was the final. Valders jumps out to a 6-0 lead with an Elias Sparks 66-yard touchdown. And then he also had a field goal. So Elias Sparks puts up 9 points, and he had all 9 points basically for the Valders Vikings there. And then, New Holstein, they scored a touchdown in the second quarter. And then we saw it was basically all New Holstein the rest of the way. No Valders stats are in, unfortunately. Hopefully we can get those in. Sean Floyd was the quarterback, 3 for 6 there with 142 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And then for rushing, Luke Graff, 10 for 43. Mason Butin, 1 for 34. And then I didn't mention Graff also had 2 touchdowns for him. Receiving, Luke Graff, 1 reception, 79 yards. Noah Hausler, 1 reception for 58 yards. Both of them had touchdowns. receiving as well. One interception also from Luke Graff. He had himself a game, as you can see. Also got to keep in mind, no Valor stats, but all stats and scores are coming from WSN, as it says in the bio. So if you are interested in checking out these stats, please, the link is there. Thank you again to WSN for providing or for having the scores, the stats here, and then all the conference standing stats. Basically, all of your EWC needs. It's all on WSN. Go check them out. Next game here, Roncalli and Two Rivers. 64-0 was the final. The Two Rivers Raiders took care of business. They have started their season and off to an incredible start here, like historic start. And they were up. So they had 20. They're up 26-0, end of one. Then they put up 18 points, so they go up 44 points, 44-0 at half, and then it's all Two Rivers. No points scored by the Jets. We'll go through the stats. They're crazy, of course. Justin Klinkner, 10 for 11, 133 yards with 3 touchdowns. Chase Mathias, 15 for 104, 6.9 yards per attempt. 4 touchdowns for him. Justin Klinkner then had a rushing touchdown. There, the receivers, Elijah Mott, 1 for 50 with a touchdown. Oren Gauger, 2 for 7 with a touchdown. Austin Phillips, 1 for 23 with a touchdown. DeAndre McPherson, 1 for 7 with a touchdown. A lot of touchdowns. A lot to add there. Braden Reimer, it says he was 17 for 35 there rushing, and then he also had a reception. For the Jets, Landon Halupny then was 8 for 23 with 3 interceptions. And for those, we saw 3 different people get them. Xander Pop, we saw get an interception. Justin Klinkner, then Oren Gauger, and then Chase Mathias. Then also, I see he forced 2 fumbles, is what we got. 2 sacks also for Damian Gretz. Then I'll add in there for the stats. So Two Rivers takes care of business. We'll get to the stats and standings. It's something here. Here's for a game. Kiel and Brilliant. This ended up being the true game of the week, I'd say. 27-20. Kiel gets a goal line stop to secure the victory here at Brilliant. And it was quite the game is what we heard. No stats from either side, unfortunately. But going through it, it was 20-13 at half. Kiel then goes up 27-13. And then Brilliant gets a touchdown in the 4th and then almost got another one. Unfortunately, they don't get the job done. They got their first interception. They had a D lineman get their first interception. Derek Fisher got it there for the Lions. But yeah, Kiel gets the job done. They go 1-0 to conference, where Brilliant goes 0-1, 0-3 overall. That's kind of the report we got. I have Jaden Bastian had the first touchdown for the Brilliant Lions is what I can add. So hopefully coaches again get that up on WSN. So we'll go to the next game here. Chilton, they travel to Kohler to face the KLC Blue Bombers. And this game, a lot of points were put up. Chilton gets the job done. 49-20 was the final. Chilton goes up 14-0, end of one, and then they go up 28-6 at half. And yeah, they get the job done easy. Story for Chilton was, they had a balanced attack here, rushing and passing. They go 7 for 11 was Max Miller with a touchdown. I guess it wasn't really that balanced. Eight passing completions to 47 carries. Maybe I should rephrase that. They had a rush heavy attack, and it was led, Jared Gell, 15 for 104, and then Zach Hallbach, 13 for 92. Both of them had 2 touchdowns. Max Miller had 2 touchdowns then on the ground, and then he had 1 passing touchdown there. And the receivers, it was 2 for 42 was Dalton Tash, and then Zach Hallbach also had a receiving touchdown. For KLC, Noah Heinen's been that guy. We were talking about him at the start of the year. Look, 8 for 111 with 2 touchdowns there for KLC. He has been the bright spot, for this KLC offense. He's really been that one guy. Also, Cole Brandemule, 11 for 22 with 3 touchdowns for him. And then rushing-wise, Cole Brandemule had 10 for 19 was him. And Noah Vilbach was 8 for 15 for the KLC Blue Bombers. And we don't have any defensive stats for them. But we had 4 sacks there for the Chilton defense. No fumbles, no interceptions is what I'm seeing. But yeah, Chilton, they go 1-0. And those are your game recaps. So let's go now to the stats and standings report. And again, thank you to WSN for providing all the scores, stats, and standings. So here it is, standings now updated. We have Two Rivers, New Holstein, Kiel, and Chilton all 1-0 in conference. And then we have Brilliant, KLC, Roncalli, Valders all 0-1. And then we have for records, it's for overall records, we have 3-0 is Two Rivers. 2-1 is New Holstein. 1-2 is Chilton, Kiel, Roncalli, and Valders. Then 0-3 is Brilliant and KLC. So those are your records. I'll read them in a better order next time. It's just with one conference game in, it's a mess, is how it looks on here. But that's how it is. Let's go through some stat leaders, and then we'll go to talk some baseball. So for passing yards here, no surprise, Justin Klinkner, 647. Max Miller, then at 398. Landon Halupny here at 321. So, yeah, Justin Klinkner already has almost double the amount of passing yards as number 2 and 3. So, he's over double there for number 3. Rushing yards, Braden Reimer, 378. Chase Mathias, 373. Jared Gell, 221. Receiving yards, Noah Heinen from KLC is in the lead, 234 receiving yards already. Jalen Paul, number 2 with 158. And Xander Pop with 157. So those are your stats leaders. Again, special thanks to WSN here. Let's go then to some baseball here in Milwaukee Brewers. That's your high school recap. I guess actually that's not your high school recap. I'm missing something. We got to talk about, I got to pick my game of the week. I have not done that. I got to go through the matchups too. And there's some good games next week. So, I'd be on the lookout watching these games, following them. Okay, so here's your matchups for next week. Sorry there for forgetting about this important part. Brilliant and Two Rivers. That's going to be something. Chilton and Valders, Kiel Roncalli, KLC New Holstein. So Brilliant and Two Rivers, that's going to be an interesting one. Right? I mean, Two Rivers has played some not so great competition to start the year. I think, Brilliant's going to they're going to put some points up against TR, but, right now, TR looks like it's going to be a 3-score game in favor of TR is just how it looks, but you never know. Still could be a good game there out in Two Rivers. Chilton and Valders. So Chilton is a squad I picked to go number 2. It's a battle of 151 here, and it's at Valders, so that should be a nice rivalry game there for both squads. Kiel Roncalli is another game. Let's see how Roncalli can rebound after that big defeat to Two Rivers, and then Kiel, they get that win over Brilliant. Let's see how they do here at Roncalli, Ron Rubik Field. KLC New Holstein's the final, and this actually, you might be like, why are you picking back-to-back weeks of New Holstein for the game of the week? I'm going to do it. I am intrigued to see how this New Holstein team performs to compare. Are they better than KLC? How much better? Because right now, what we're wondering is, if you're going through the tiers, you're wondering where KLC, Valders, and New Holstein end up. You're wondering where those 3 squads are. Maybe you can add Brilliant in there. You're wondering how they will perform, because it feels like, it goes Two Rivers, Chilton, and then Kiel as like the top 3. Or, yeah, that's how I put it. And then it's like, okay, well, how do you go? Do you go Brilliant, New Holstein, KLC, Valders? Do you go Brilliant, KLC, New Holstein, Valders? Do you go Brilliant, KLC, or do you go Brilliant, New Holstein, Valders, KLC? We don't know. So that is something I think this week will decide. So, yeah, I mean, I'd say KLC and New Holstein is going to be your best game to go to this week for Eastern Wisconsin Conference football is where I'd go. And that's going to wrap up the EWC recap and preview here. So let's go talk some baseball. The Milwaukee Brewers have played terrible. I mean, as of late, this past 2 months, ever since the trade deadline, you might even say, and you would be right. So the record prediction, I'm like, they're going 5-2. We're going to start seeing the offense pick up. We're going to start seeing some great games. And nope, we did not see that. They go 3-4 was the record this past week. Terrible. They have 4 games against the Diamondbacks. They win 1 of them out of the 4. Corbin Burns keeps getting destroyed here. He has not had great outings in the month of August and September so far. It's been a terrible month stretch here for him. which is alarming. It really is. The offense. So other than the eight runs they put up on Saturday, listen to this: 0 on Thursday, 1 on Friday, 1 on Sunday. That's a combined 2 runs in a span of 3 games. How are you going to win some games here? I know they're facing Zach Gallen. I know, but come on, really? I mean, it's been a pathetic week. Also, with the Pirates, which made it tough. I mean, you get 2 out of 3 at home, you'll take it, but those 2 out of 3s are not going to get the job done in this last month right now with how it is. I mean, they don't have the tiebreaker when we get into the standings report against the Phillies, nor the Padres. So it's going to be something. I mean, down the stretch, they have to play very well, like very, very well, in order to make this happen. And it depends on how those 2 squads play. But yeah, my record prediction challenge was incorrect, as it's been frequently. I mean, I used to be on fire on this because the Brewers were playing well, and they have 8 games next week, a lot of games. So it's like, okay, how are they going to perform in these? This is how the schedule rolls. It goes 3 games at Colorado at Coors Field. And then after that 2-10 game, so it goes 3-10, 7-40, 2-10, right? After that 2-10 game, what happens is this. They had to go back to Milwaukee, and then they have to go play a doubleheader. 3-10, and then whenever after that, they against the Giants. 2 games against the Giants. And then they got to play a 3-game series against the Reds. That's 8 games this week. So 8 games in 7 days. They're going to have a needed off day then on the 12th of September, but is that going to be enough? I mean, I'm concerned now with this squad. I mean, you have Cardinals, Yankees, Mets, Cardinals coming up in this month. And those 2 games against the Giants, I should add. I mean, this is not an easy schedule. This is concerning if you are a Milwaukee Brewers fan. I said 4-4, so I kind of have it like this. I got them, hopefully winning 2 games against the Rockies, maybe 1. I'm a little scared of that Giants doubleheader. Maybe you win one of those, and then hopefully you win 1, you win 2 out of the Reds. I don't know. I just have a feeling this road trip is going to keep getting worse, and they might only win 1 game against Colorado, and then it's a matter of, okay, you split the doubleheader, and then you take 2 out of 3, and there's your 4 wins there for the Brewers. So standings-wise, let's get into it. St. Louis Cardinals, 79-55. This division was the Milwaukee Brewers. It was locked up. I mean, it felt like in July, June, it was like, all right, it's going to be the Brewers in it. They're cruising 5 games up. Then what happens is now we see an elimination number next to their name. 21 is the number compared to the Cubs 6, Reds having the 5, and then Pittsburgh already be eliminated. But for the Brewers, they're 8.5 games back. I mean, this is incredible. The Cardinals keep winning, the Brewers keep losing. It's as simple as that. Plus 28 run differential. That is the worst out of all the teams in the playoff hunt by a lot. I mean, that's just how it is, other than in the AL. But I'm looking in the NL. It's the worst. And that's just how it is. But yeah, I mean, the Brewers right now only 70 wins. Let's talk about the wild card. So as we know, top 3 squads get in for the wild card, not the division winners. So right now it would be, of course, the Dodgers, Mets, and Cardinals are leading all their respective divisions. And then it goes like this. Atlanta, 84-51. They are 10.5 up from the second wild card. San Diego, then 74-60. 1 game up on Philadelphia, then the last spot, 73-61. So the Brewers right now are 2.5 back. But the thing is, Phillies, Padres, both have tiebreakers. No more game 163. So you think that 2.5, it's really 3.5. So, it's really an extra game on top of it. So if you tie them, that's cool, but they get the spot. Tiebreaker, they do own. So they're in a really tough spot right now. The Brewers are. So they got to make up a lot of ground. They got to make it up fast. Are they going to do it? Who knows? It's not looking pretty. We're certainly rooting for them, but it is going to be a tough month stretch of baseball. Let's go to the AL for the fun of it here. Houston, 86-48. They have that 1 spot there. New York Yankees are 80-54 now, so the Astros are 6 games up now. With time, it's changed a lot, I guess is what I should say. The Seattle Mariners hold that top spots for the wild card 75-58. Tampa Bay 74-58. Tampa Bay's made a run for that division. They're only 4 games back, I believe, maybe, or 5 games now, it looks like, in the division. Toronto then 73-59. There. Baltimore then 2.5 back from that next spot. And then it goes to the Twins. So the Twins and the Guardians right now are dueling for that last spot. And Twins 68-64 there for them. The White Sox 67-67, 500. They're 7 games back. Looks like they are out of it there. But yeah, I mean, that is your standings report here for baseball. Again, that's going to wrap it up there for the Brewers. We'll do a brief Packer talk here. Before we wrap it up here, we'll make it a little quick episode as we did have a college athlete spotlight episode that did air, in fact. So really for the Packers, what I want to talk about is this. We have week 1 coming up. It's September 11th on a Sunday. They're at Minnesota to face the Vikings. And that game is going to be on Fox 325. It's going to be a good game is really what I want to first, start by saying. These are both squads that I think, it's going to be competitive in the North in that aspect. I do think the Packers will win it. But it's going to be, we saw the Packers came out week 1 last year at New Orleans. Not good. And I think that could be something we might see again this year. It's going to be tough to see, if everyone's healthy, right? I mean, Mason Crosby had pads on, right? He was practicing first time with pads this whole summer was the story too. I did see, and otherwise, Matt Schneidman, the Athletic, got to credit him. He's a guy who beat writer of the Packers, does a great job. We always like to highlight his stuff here on the podcast, but he indicates the following. He indicates there's going to be a special team emphasis on the initial roster, and that's what we're seeing right now. Matt Schneidman points to, with Rich Bisaccia being hired as the special teams coordinator. The story is he is going to emphasize special teams here. And with that, I mean, they have some players on the roster who we're going to see on the field who are going to really take care of special teams. They signed 27-year-old Rudy Ford, who is going to be a guy who we could even see go into that special teams role as a guy. And even Brian Gutekunst, he recognizes him as a top special teams player. Again, thank you, Matt Schneidman. He credit him on the article. Of course, it'll be linked down below. But otherwise, right, I mean, other stories that Schneidman points to was only having 2 running backs with Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon, as we did see Tyler Goodson was being a surprise wave on the roster. So that was the other big story I wanted to highlight from Schneidman's article, right? Special teams emphasis, which he does point. We are seeing 2 running backs only, Mason Crosby in pads, but we don't know about his status, how he's going to be ready for week 1. A lot of questions there. It looks like he should be ready, but I do have concerns for week 1 is basically where I am right now. And doesn't mean this squad, I do have them down for 12-5 is the record. So it's not like I'm saying this squad's just going to be out of it. I do think this first week will be tough. I think at Minnesota, we saw the Packers lose there last year. It's a tough place to play. Really is. The crowd gets involved. We saw Justin Jefferson have himself a game. Look, year three breakouts. It's a real thing in the NFL. So who knows? Justin Jefferson is elite talent. Kirk Cousins, see how he performs against the Packers. But yeah, then week 2 is against the Bears. So that's something you can be like, okay, well, if we lose week 1, guaranteed a win in week 2 is what they say. We won't talk about game 3, which is at Tampa, but you get the point. We like that matchup there for the Packers in week 2, and that's Sunday Night Football already. That's 7:20 on NBC. Don't want to get ahead of myself too much, but yeah, I mean, that's all I had here for the episode. Got through everything here. Had a lot of fun here on this Sunday night. This was episode 2 I recorded, but be back here tomorrow night, Monday night, for some fantasy football. We're going to be doing just an overall talk, not like Journey to Million, not a lot of sports betting tied into it. Just talking fantasy football. That's how it's going to be, and look forward to seeing you there. So That's going to wrap it up for myself, Drew Skyberg, on this Sunday night. Thank you all for listening to yet another episode of Drew's Sports Crew, the perfect podcast for you. Thank you, everybody. Good night.